asking to withdraw?
Yes, Judge, I was originally appointed, as you know, some time ago. The defendant already received probation in May. My agreement, my representation had ended at that point. Unfortunately, Mr. Boyd still thinks I am his attorney. So
All
just
right.
to be clear to everyone, I've sent him a copy of this motion and I'm asking the court to sign.
Okay, we'll go on the record. The court is calling 2023 CR 3281, State of Texas versus Eugene Boyd. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Melissa Christian.
Are you Mr. Boyd?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your attorney has filed a motion to withdraw. Are you aware that your attorney wishes to withdraw?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the reason she's withdrawing is because her representation has concluded. Was this an appointed case?
It was, Your Honor.
All right. So once the plea agreement was entered and you accepted the plea bargain agreement, her representation at that point ended. So she is filing a motion to withdraw so that on the record, her representation can be ended. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your motion to withdraw is granted.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes, you may be
Thank you.
excused. Now, Mr. Boyd,
Yes, ma'am.
we have an issue. Do you know what that issue is? And we can go off the record. The issue is you're supposed to go to, first I sent you to felony drug court. And you didn't want to do that.
It's not that.
I know. Here's the thing. I've told you this time and time again, and I don't know how many times I have to tell you this.
But this.
Listen.
Okay.
I am in charge of setting conditions of probation, not the state, not your attorney. When you signed your agreement with the parties, your plea bargain agreement, and I go over the pleas in great detail so people can understand. This right here, I let people know that this is outside the agreement. These are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow that. Do you understand? And your answer was yes, because if your answer would have been no, I would have said, all right, you all need to go back and confer. Let me tell you what this note says, and it's in all caps. The parties are not allowed to make binding agreements regarding the length of community supervision or the terms and conditions of community supervision, which are totally dependent upon the court's discretion. The following recommendations do not constitute part of the formal plea agreement. However, the state, both parties, make the following non-binding recommendations. So I know you keep saying, I'm not supposed to be at safety. I'm not supposed to be in felony drug court. Guess what? You are, because I ordered it. And there is no agreement that could have been made between your attorney or the state saying these are the only conditions he will accept. So let me just tell you what's going to go down. I'm not having another compliance with you. You're either signing to go to safety or a motion to revoke is going to be in it. The end. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have been back before me numerous times with me explaining to you why you are being recommended for different things. I don't send anybody to felony drug court unless they have a drug problem. You have a drug problem. I don't send anybody to SAFE or SATF if they don't have a drug problem. You have a drug problem. And for some reason, you don't want to acknowledge it. So maybe you want to go to prison. If you want to go to prison and do your time, you're looking at 5 years in prison, potentially. So if you would like to do your time, then stop wasting everybody else's time. I'm not referring you back to felony drug court. I referred you there twice. And I received a note said, you were rejected. Client was offered felony drug court for the second time and refused. So you're not going back to felony drug court. So you're either going to SATF or a motion to revoke will be filed. So which do you prefer?
I'll go to Saturday.
You are signing that today. And if you do not sign it today, a motion to revoke will be filed and we will be hearing whether or not you should go to prison. Do you understand?
No,
Is there anything else you don't understand?
it's fine, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So what is happening here?
Well, yeah, I've spoken with him and he's perfectly capable of communicating to me in his own defense, and he understands the charges against him.
All right. So have you conferred with the state?
No,
All right. So you need to confer with the state. And this is family violence. So Brittany, can you make sure that you all confer with him? All right, just have a
this
seat.
is just on the issue of his confidence is going to try.
All right, but you said you conferred with him and he understands everything. You just told me he's not incompetent.
Yes.
All right, so
And
confer with the state.
That's my opinion on that.
All right, so confer with the state.
If you want to redo this, I'll do that later on. I didn't know.
Well, you want to have him by Zoom?
I didn't want to violate any.
No. You want your client by Zoom?
No, I was going to do it without his being here. I figured this was something that you just wanted to speak with him about.
All right, well, what we can do is I can speak to him about it, but if you can have your client by Zoom and that won't violate the no contact. Are you able to have him Zoom in?
I didn't tell him about this at all.
Oh, no. If you can see if he can Zoom in, because if I grant this, I want to give him instructions.
Understood.
Yes,
Understood.
So-
I'll call.
yes, if you want to call him and speak to Miss Ferguson, because she has the Zoom link. And
Okay.
state, are you going to be an objection?
We're not waving our arms and objecting, no.
Okay. All right, so just see if you can get him to Zoom in and we'll take it out.
Okay, have a seat back there, Mr. Tibbetts. I'll be right with you. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
I don't get to stay here no more. I can go.
And are you Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, sir.
All right, you entered a plea of deadly conduct with a firearm as a third-degree felony. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years. The state is remaining silent on your application. And then there are no contact orders. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Yes,
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
no, Your Honor.
All right, the state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Just if I may, I have a couple of paycheck stubs or 3 paycheck stubs of my clients that I'd like to offer. And I had given the state an opportunity to review them. And then I have some photographs of my client with his daughter, if I may offer those to the court for your consideration.
Yes.
Judge states on.
All right.
I'm looking for the letter from his boss, Judge. I
All
have
right.
read-
If there's no objection from the state, if you want to make a proffer what the letter says, I do believe he's employed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can look at this. It's a
It
matter of
just,
public
it
record.
speaks to his, promptness as an employee, as a valuable employee, and as to him being consistently employed and being able to continue to be employed should the court grant this application. This speaks to how much the employer values him as an employee, Judge.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
Mr. Gutierrez, on his behalf, Judge, has had a lot of time to reflect during the pendency of this case. He has 3 children, including a daughter whose picture I showed you, his biological daughter. And he has recently reconnected with her and reestablished good communication with her mom and with her. And he feels extremely motivated now between the opportunity he has at work to do well and his relationship with his daughter being very positive. And he wants to be able to continue in that path and show the court that he can do better. I see the PSI recommends intensive outpatient. I think their focus is probably alcohol. And if the court were to deem any other conditions of free, he would absolutely comply with whatever conditions the court would deem appropriate. He has been on GPS for a considerable amount of time while this case was pending. I think maybe since
It's been a year or 2 months.
a year and 2 months, he's been on GPS with no violations. And I think that speaks to his motivation to do better and his respect for the court orders and his ability to be a successful probationer. And I hope the court will take into account, that's a significant amount of time He was on full GPS house arrest, and then that converted to partial where he's been able to work, but no violations. And so we're hoping the court will give him an opportunity to show the court that he can be successful on probation.
All right, but here's my concern and what I don't understand. How old are you?
37.
You're 37. I don't understand going to a bar and people tell you to leave. And your answer to people telling you to leave is, I'm going back to my vehicle and I'm getting a gun and firing the gun. I don't understand that. So I don't know if he wants to be under oath to explain that to the court, but this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. I don't understand why people's first answer to any situation is, let me go get my gun. And I
Well,
know people, I don't know, people seem to have a love affair with weapons. And if you want to have a love affair with the weapon, then you need to treat the weapon with respect, because the weapon can kill if it's in the wrong hands. And I'm just trying to figure out, there's an incident that happens. Somebody calls you out your name. Oh, let me go get my gun. I'll show you who I am. Somebody tells you to leave a bar because, I don't know, maybe you're intoxicated. Maybe there's some altercation. I don't understand why people don't leave.
I would say that the offense report and PSI reflect that he says he had 5 beers and 3 shots. So I would submit to the court that he was not thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
He
to
was-
me,
And I'm not saying that intoxication is a defense or mitigating at all. I'm just saying that, it causes a loss of impulse control. And
I mean, I understand what you're saying, counsel, but sometimes I think alcohol gives people courage to do what they otherwise wouldn't have done, as opposed to, oh, my inhibitions are released. Yeah. So I don't know if he wants to speak to the court or not, because I'll tell you, I'm leaning towards sending you to prison. I haven't heard anything that would suggest to me that I shouldn't send you to prison, because I don't know somebody who takes some shots. I realize you were intoxicated. I'm reading it, but people put you out of the bar. And it's on Mother's Day too.
It was 6 guys that took me out.
Yeah,
So.
because you wouldn't leave. When people tell you to leave an establishment, just leave. So I don't understand why I should give him deferred adjudication when he went to a bar. And according to things he's saying, somebody tried to come on to his fiance. That's when you leave. And they told him to leave. And maybe they were very rough and pushing him out of the bar. I will give you that. They were rough. They bruise you up, maybe push you out of the bar. But that's where you leave and go home. Hopefully you were not driving with those tequila shots. And then, or if you don't want to leave and you stay in the parking lot, you call the police, but you don't tell people, well, I'm going to show you who I am. And then you go to your vehicle and get your gun. Did your fiance say any, did his fiance say, hey, what are you doing? This is crazy. Let's just go home.
I don't know if that's-
Okay.
The altercation at the bar wasn't good. I think that there were probably others there who also had weapons. Again, not to say that there's necessarily a defensive or mitigate, but maybe it's a little mitigating. It just turned out to be a very rough circumstance. I'm not making light of the offense because obviously it's serious. And I think that the PSI speaks to the alcohol being an issue and intensive outpatient. So I think if the court would give him some opportunity to address the alcohol and maybe perhaps anger management issues, maybe that would help to lessen his future risk to the
And I
community.
see that there are other people who had guns, because I see Eric Fields, who's one of the complainants, not the main complainant. He says, I just want my gun back.
Yeah.
This is Texas. We just want our gun back.
Right.
So ma'am, I haven't been in trouble since 2005. And being at that.
You want to
bar-
raise your right hand to be sworn in? Can you, do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Guadalupe Gutierrez.
And let me just tell you, your statement about you haven't been in trouble since what time?
2005.
I haven't been in trouble since 1969, and I'm putting it at 1969 because I was potty trained by then. And I didn't pick up any criminal cases. I always tell people when they tell me I haven't been in a gang, I don't do drugs, I haven't been in trouble. It's like, do you want a cookie for that? That's what you're supposed to do. So let's not start with, I haven't been in trouble since this date, because I'm looking at your criminal history and one of them is terroristic threat. And then criminal trespass. And is this criminal trespass with a weapon?
That was with a box cutter at my aunt's bar. I just left work.
Okay. And then the theft of a vehicle.
That was back in '04.
And now we're back here.
Yes,
And on on the probation from 2013 on the criminal trespass with a weapon, your probation had to be extended. Then on the theft case, a motion to revoke was filed and you were sent to TDC. And now you have this that started as an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the state reduced it to a deadly conduct 3rd degree. So speak to me. Why should I give you deferred? I don't understand why I should.
Well, man, I'm not a good talker, but.
That's
you told
okay.
me not to say how it started, but
No,
I
go.
was trying to prove a point that since 2005, I haven't been in trouble. You know, and all those years, I was in the oil field for 15 years and I've never had my daughter. So now that I got my daughter, it's a blessing to me because I always wanted it. So now I have an opportunity to be a father and I don't want to mess that up.
I mean, but you have.
I understand.
I think the reunification, if you will, sort of took place after this offense. Is that correct? Meanwhile, you've been on probation with your daughter.
Yeah, it's been good. It's just like I've been on the monitor and I can't blame nobody else but me. But it gets me kind of angry because I can't take my daughter out other than be with her in the living room.
Well, I don't know why you angry about that. That's all on you.
That's what I just said.
If you would not go to a bar drinking to the point of intoxication and you're in your 30s, you're not a teenager who doesn't know better.
Yeah.
I think that if the court would give him an opportunity for some form of treatment, I think he would welcome that and appreciate that opportunity.
I just don't think he's a good candidate for probation. I mean, shooting up a bar. And it wasn't.
It was outside in the
Mhm.
parking lot.
Thank you. And State, I know you're silent.
Yes, Judge.
Is our applications for probation, for community supervision and deferred?
Yes.
I don't know if it makes a difference to the court. I don't think it necessarily does, but we can withdraw the deferred.
Now, see, this is what I'm reading, and this is my problem. I can understand people being angry and getting upset with people. I honestly don't ever understand people pulling a weapon, because I always taught if you're going to pull a gun on somebody, you need to know that you to kill somebody, and don't pull a gun unless you're going to use it. That's what I was always taught. But what it says here in the police report that you stipulated to, I contacted Jason, who is the manager and point of contact for surveillance. Jason provided me with footage from one of the cameras. Jason said he was working on getting footage from the other cameras as well. The footage showed Guadalupe, that's you, being taken out of the bar. He walks to his car and pulls out a small handgun. Guadalupe pointed the gun in the air where 4 spent shell casings were found. Guadalupe and Melissa got into the vehicle and he pulls up to the curb. Eric can be seen in the corner near a white car. Guadalupe opens the car door and his hand extends out. Guadalupe then lowers his hand with the gun and points it toward Eric.
I never pointed the gun at any.
I mean, that's what they say is on the video. I mean, this is video. This is not,
And I showed her that when I saw the video, I pointed it.
Well, because it's surveillance, some parts of it are a little clearer than others, but as the car drives out, it's a little bit less clear because of the angle of the camera.
okay. All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
All right. How old is your daughter?
7.
Okay.